and welcome in to Your Health. And we have somebody who can help you be healthy. We are so excited to have Dr. Lou Lambiase. And Dr. Lambiase is the Dean of our UAB Medical School Montgomery campus, which we are blessed to have. And all of you should be aware, this month is Colorectal Cancer Month. And we want to talk about that. We want to get you engaged because this is something that you can really do something about. You don't have to die from that anymore.
No, you don't.
So let's talk about, you're the expert because you are a gastroenterologist.
That's right.
So let's just have you tell our folks what we should be doing.
Well, thanks, Virginia, for having me here. Colorectal cancer is actually the third leading cause of cancer death in the United States, after lung, and then breast in women and prostate in men. But one of the things about colorectal cancer is that there's a way to prevent it. And so colorectal cancer has a premalignant lesion, so a growth that you have called a polyp, which can grow in your colon and can be present, and it's benign, and it sits there for 10 years or more before it decides to turn into cancer. So we know that if we look for and take out colon polyps in patients, we cut colon cancer risk. So you want to know what to do to prevent colon cancer is participate in screening. Participate in screening, participate in screening. That's really what we need to do.
It's like everything else. You should get your mammograms. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of care. And sometimes it's the difference in life and death.
Yeah, it is.
And I wanted to ask you now, what's the screening age? We know that we're seeing more of this in younger people, and that's concerning.
Yeah, it's very concerning, and there has been a skewing to younger age. So right now there's a little bit of controversy into what the right age. The traditional teaching has been 50 years old is when you start screening for colorectal cancer and polyps. But now certain societies have dropped the age to 45. And so I would think, so what I do is I say 45 to 50. I think is when you should start thinking about it. You should start thinking about doing this sooner if you have a family history of colon cancer. So if somebody in your family has had colon cancer, you probably ought to err on the side of being early. And certainly if you had somebody who had colon cancer before the age of 50, generally we do it 10 years before that person got the colon cancer. So if somebody had their colon cancer at 49, then you're looking at really getting screened at 39 if it's your mom or your brother or something like that. And then it's periodically based on the findings and what you do after that. But somewhere between 45 and 50 is when we should start.
Let me ask you this. We talk so much about lifestyle and about preventative and trying to stay healthy, and that is a big issue. I think that's the State Health Department, UAB with their Live Health. It's just important that people prevent by what their actions are. And I think we need to, healthcare is very difficult to get to see doctors. And healthcare is, there's a lot of disparity there, but there are things that you can do to take care of yourself. What are some of those things you would suggest?
Well, I think a lot of it starts with diet. I think people who have a high-fat, meat-rich diet tend to have more colorectal cancer. Okay. So I think having fiber and vegetables and that sort of thing is where you can start. And then I think there are many different ways to be screened for colon cancer. And so the real key is not particular to be hung up on any one of them. I think a lot of doctors and like myself and we would recommend colonoscopy. But that involves having to take the day off, getting a prep, coming in, getting sedated, and some people just don't want to do that. Well, I would say there are other tests where you can test the stool for tumor and abnormal markers of colorectal cancer and polyps. And I think if you're not going to get a colonoscopy, you should at least do that. So the key is some screening is so much better than others. And if you look at the outcomes, colon, you're about 7 to 8 times more likely to die of a colon cancer that's found when it becomes symptomatic than if it's found at colon screening. So it's about 8 times more likely to die if you wait until it becomes symptomatic.
So timing is definitely of the essence. Are the Cologuard?
Yeah, that's what I was
Is
talking
that
about.
an
Yeah,
option?
Cologuard. Yeah, Cologuard is fine. I mean, Cologuard has some criticisms where it may not pick up everything, but it also is non-invasive, and you have to do it every couple of years, so you have to do it more frequently than colonoscopy. And if it's a positive Cologuard, in other words, then you absolutely have to get a colonoscopy, right? There's no negotiation, right, on that. Then it becomes a whole different thing. You have to get a colonoscopy. But I would say just do something. Just do something. Just participate in screening somehow.
Well, we've got well over 150,000 people who die every year from that, where they really don't have to. You don't have to.
You don't have to die of colon cancer.
That's the exciting part, that there are things that you can do.
That's correct.
We want to inform our audience, and we thank you so much because you're an expert on that, and we appreciate it. And if we can save one life, then we're happy. And thank you for being with us, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.